welcome to the live. We're so excited today to talk about the booming short-term rental market in Jeddah. We're located on the Northeast coast, and I am so excited because I have the expert in that market. She is new to the Savvy short-term rental team, and she is a total boss. She's a licensed Florida real estate agent, and she's an expert on the investment market in Jacksonville. I want to introduce to you guys 𝗁𝗁 𝗂𝗂. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. How we doing?
So this is actually our first live together of many. We're going to be having lots of cool webinar and future content coming for you. And we're just going to dive into this market, dive into all of the things that are going to, this market a attractive place for you to invest in. And Dashia has a lot of info to share with you guys. So Dashia, talk about like what is happening in the Jacksonville market right now.
Well, a lot is happening in the Jacksonville market. It's a super exciting place to be. I'm very blessed to be here. We moved here about 2 years ago now, and even in those 2 years, I've just seen so much change in the landscape here. So right now, they are totally renovating all of downtown. They're redoing the Jaguar Stadium. They're doing some renovations to an area called Springfield. The Phoenix Arts District is what that is called, and Jack's Gateway. That's going to be coming soon. All of these things are super exciting, and I think it's going to really change the whole landscape of Jacksonville. So it's a great place to invest in right now.
Yeah. So I'm actually from Jacksonville. My family is from there on the west side. If anybody knows the west side of Jacksonville, it's changed a lot. But also talk about that Emerald Trail. That's a cool project.
Yeah, so the Emerald Trail is going to connect 13 neighborhoods in Jacksonville. And, some of that area has been not so great for a little while. And I think that the whole idea is to be able to walk along those areas, bike along those areas. I'm actually from Indianapolis, and they did that there a few years ago with the Monon Trail. And we rented e-bikes and went down that trail, and oh my gosh, it was so cool. All of the shops and restaurants and everything that they built up along that trail, and I just foresee all of that happening in Jacksonville. So it's very exciting to kind of see the before and after of how that changes the face of the city, and how that's definitely going to be happening here as well.
Yeah. And one thing, I don't know if you can talk about this, but one of the things I think that held Jacksonville back for a long time was the Baptist church used to own and control almost all of the downtown area, right? Yeah. Do you know much about that and how that's changed when they sold everything?
Yeah, so a little while ago, they sold all of downtown, and so people have already started flocking here. There's one main street downtown. I think some guys from Miami came. They put a club in, which Jacksonville has never really seen before. So that was definitely something different, but it kind of sets the
That's
pace.
ΔECA.
Yeah,
ΔECA, right?
Yeah.
ΔECA Live? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, ΔECA Live. It's cool. It's a good spot. I've been there.
It looks, I want to go. I've never been.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a vibe. But I mean,
it has that Miami.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it just goes to show, like, if they're taking the risk to do something like that here in Jacksonville, I think that it, forecasts what's going to be coming. And the Four Seasons is going to be here. So they're building the Four Seasons on the water. The reason I love Jacksonville so much is because there's a lot of different faces of Jacksonville. I mean, it's the biggest city in America. And you have the rivers, you have the beaches, you have, city vibe. If you want city vibe, you've got country vibe. If you want country vibe, I mean, it really has everything to offer. So it just depends on what you want.
Well, yeah, and then you got the whole beaches, right? Like if you got this beautiful, big, wide, beautiful beaches. I think the Jacksonville beaches are like the widest that I've seen really up and down the coast. Yeah,
17 miles
it's
of beach. It's amazing. And the thing I love about that is Jacksonville's very family oriented. So a lot of people that
mhm.
are traveling here are usually families, as of right now. And I think a lot of people just don't know about Jacksonville yet. You know, like when you think of Florida, you don't think of Jacksonville. I know I never did. You know, you think of Tampa, Miami, St. Augustine, Fort Lauderdale, but you know, you don't really, you usually pass through Jacksonville on your way to those places. But
Yeah, yeah.
I
What?
think that they're really positioning to change that for sure. So,
Yeah, yeah. You touched on it, but Jacksonville is the biggest land mass city in the entire country.
yeah,
So
massive.
it's huge. It's huge. And there's just so much growth happening. Do you know much about the Riverfront Plaza that's going in?
Yeah, so they are redoing the North Bank and the South Bank. So where the river, the St. Johns River comes through, they're doing both sides. And actually, the South Bank opens today. So that's exciting. I'm going to get to go down there and see what that's all about. I can't wait. I know they have like a yoga park and kids parks and walking paths along the river. So I think that a lot of people don't take advantage of that stuff right now because there really isn't anything to draw them in. But as all of these changes are happening, it's going to definitely, you know, they have the food trucks, they have the Friendship Fountain, they have the silent discos there every Thursday night. Like there's just so much fun stuff to do here that you just wouldn't even think of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I mean, and you've got so many jobs there. You've got the Mayo Clinic too.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? That's huge for the short-term rental market.
It is, yeah. So, you know, everybody thinks, oh, it's just the beaches, and the beaches are very profitable. So that's definitely a good spot. But I think with the renovations downtown, that's probably the second best spot. But then you have this whole area in between those two that is kind of residential. And it's wonderful because the single family homes that have the pools, the hot tubs, you know, the amenities, these families, they're going to be here for a little while. They just built a whole new tower. So somebody's got to house those people. And would you rather stay in a hotel or would you rather stay in a house with a pool that, you know, is probably a stressful time for people? So they want to be able to go back and find a retreat. And that whole area is doing very, very well in the short term rental space. So that's another bonus.
Yeah, people come from all over to go to the Mayo Clinic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like some of the best medical care in the country. And, I hear some people call it like the medical care for more of like the elite because it is very expensive. And it's
Mhm.
like top notch, medical care. So that's a huge draw, I know, for
Yeah,
people
there's only
coming to the
three in the
city.
United States. So
Yeah.
we're blessed to
Um,
have them here. We have a huge medical field. Actually, we've got Baptists, we've got Wolfson's Children, so there's a children's hospital here. St. Vincent. There's a lot going on in the medical. So you also have traveling nurses and traveling
mhm.
doctors, and people that are going to be using that part as well. So
Yeah, and of course, you have the airport, which they're doing an entire renovation too. Like I think it was like a $50 million renovation, I think is what's happening at the Jacksonville airport. I was just reading about that.
yeah, I think there's actually going to be direct flights to London, which I don't know if you know 𝗁𝗂𝘁, but he's kind of like
Yes.
changing the whole face of Jacksonville. He's pouring money into this place. So it's
Tell them
exciting.
about Shad.
Yeah, so he's the owner of the Jags. So they're redoing the Jag Stadium, the Stadium of the Future. That's going to be under construction, as well as I think he's funding the Four Seasons. He is funding the airport. Just everything. There's going to be a luxury yacht marina that's going in. I mean, I think that he's really trying to put Jacksonville on the map as more of a luxury hotspot, Florida's next best place. So I think that it's exciting.
Yeah. So Shad Khan owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's spending $1 billion. I looked it up just now. $1 billion on that stadium, which is insane.
Yeah,
And
it's going
then
to be
he bought the fairgrounds. I just found that out. So
cool.
he's going to be totally doing, I don't know what project. You know what project he's doing with that or
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't recall exactly
Yeah.
what that one is, but I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if Gateway is going there, Gateway Jacks is going there or not, but he's doing the sports complex. So I think he might be putting in the MLS soccer team there because he also owns a team in London or yeah.
Mm,
So I think that direct flight that we're
that's gonna
talking
be
about
epic.
is going to be
Yeah.
bringing people in for the games for that too.
Yeah. I mean, Jacksonville Airport's already like a major international airport, but that upgrade is going to be insane because I mean, I think about when I think about Florida, Miami really has all of that going on, right? And you have Orlando, but Orlando is not coastal. So you don't have like the yachting,
Yeah.
side of things, these large vessel yachts. Miami has all of that. And we don't have that in the Northeast coast. And so like this Jacksonville doing all of that is big moves, right? Because we see all the investment that's happening in Miami. We see investors are flocking to Florida with the new mayor in New York, new governor
Yeah.
of New York. They were leaving before that because taxes and just red tape and all the things,
Yeah.
regulation. And then same thing with California. So people have been pouring into Florida, outside of all this, but then now with, all this billions and billions and billions of dollars. I mean, we're talking with the airport, the stadiums, the Four Seasons, the sports complexes, the MLS stadium as well. They're doing the soccer stadium as well. I mean, this is like probably that's like $10 billion, 10 billion in investments just from, Shad and like the projects he has going on. So
Yeah.
there's just so much happening, and it's just a great time for people to get in right now, right? Like because it is blowing up. I mean, it was a good market before all that started happening. I do think that the Baptist church kind of kept a hold on the downtown and it kept it from being what it could. But now that the Baptist church doesn't own that land, they sold all that. It's like it's free to now like grow and blossom and flourish. And so,
Yeah.
so what do you see from a short-term rental perspective in that market? Where are the hot spots? Let's talk about that.
I mean, beaches is number one right now, but I foresee, if people are really wanting appreciation, I think that you got to look downtown because those areas are really nice. You can usually find these. So Springfield's like big, beautiful, old Victorian style homes with lots of room. And they have their shotgun style land behind it. And you can usually build a garage in the back. So you can kind of get more bang for your buck by doing that. Get more people in, and it's going to be walking distance to all of this that we're talking about. So, those homes are really nice. And then definitely Riverside, Avondale area is beautiful. San Marco area is beautiful. They're all right along the water. So those are great investment opportunities as well. And they have, less short-term rental restrictions in those areas. So you don't really have to worry about that as much. Which is wonderful. But, you can go down a little bit further south because I foresee as that expansion happens, even just being a little further away would be good, like Mandarin or San Jose area as well. And then south side, which is, where I live, and it's kind of centralized. So you can be at the beach in 10 minutes or you can be downtown in 10 minutes. It's kind of a good location as well.
And south side is closer to the Mayo Clinic and all that.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
And just as a point of reference, the airport's on the north side, right? So you've got the airport on the north side, the Jacksonville Zoo, all that. One thing I love about Jacksonville is it's so close to everything. From Jacksonville, you can get to Orlando in 2 hours. You can get to Daytona Beach in an hour. So if you're going to like the Daytona 500, the NASCAR, if you're going to Bike Week, if you want to go to Orlando to go to all the theme parks, it's literally an easy day trip, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, all the water parks, like all of that. And then you're close to like 30 to 45 minutes to St. Augustine, which is one of my favorite places. And then you're also just like, 45 minutes to Amelia Island. You're about an hour to the border of Georgia. You can go up to Savannah pretty easily. Like it's so central to everything. Oh, and the other one that I like is that it's about an hour and a half, I think, to Ocala, where the World Equestrian Center is. So you have a lot of equestrian vibes over there, like in the western part.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Lots
it's
of
just
farmland there, which is great
lots
for
of what?
farmland.
Oh yeah. I don't think people realize how much farmland we actually have in Florida.
Kind of
We have
crazy.
a lot. We have a lot. Okay, so let's talk about like potential returns, potential revenue. Let's talk about that because we know all of our people want to know about ROI and like what do you see as like the opportunity for investing and what type of returns would you get?
Well, the beaches have the best returns, obviously. You know, your ADR is usually around 250 on the low side. You can go all the way up to 600. Occupancy usually is around 65 to 75. But honestly, because Jacksonville really isn't tapped out in the short-term rental market, there's a lot of potential here because not many people are doing like the top tier short-term rentals. So if you just spend the extra money up front to put in those amenities, you know, people love the golf pads because, or the putting green because 𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗲 is right there by the beach and they have the players, Sawgrass, TPC. So you have that in the back and then they get to go to their event and then come home and then pretend like they're Tiger Woods. So people love that. They love the pool. You got to have the pool. That's definitely a must-have. Summers are hot here, so if your family is going to be here, you want to have the pool. And then hot tubs because it does get chilly in the winter here. When people think Florida, they think that it's not as chilly, but it does. So it's always good to that. But really, if you put the money into your outdoor space and your design, and you know, a lot of people, first timers, try to manage it themselves, and some people do very well. But I always, you know, recommend to my clients getting a good property management company in because the numbers that I'm seeing that are like through the roof, the top tier ones that are doing the best, they have a good property management company that's doing that for them. So, you know, you might have to pay a little bit more on the backside, but you're going to end up getting a lot more return on the other side of things. So.
Right, right. And I always talk to my clients about like, okay, what if you made 60,000 in gross revenue on your own, but you hired a property management company and you got to like 90 to 100? You know, that extra percentage that you're paying for management, you know, it's not 20% of a small amount, you know, or 20% of a large amount, or 0% of a small income versus 20% of a higher income. You know, you just have to kind of weigh that out. And there is a big learning curve sometimes for short-term rentals. Like it's not, it is like, yeah, it is like launching a business. So, you know, some people are able to afford and have the time to take the learning curve on doing short-term rentals. And that's why we want people to understand that with Savvy, you're not just getting an agent, right?
Yeah.
Dashia, why don't you talk about like what it's like for people to work with you as a Savvy short-term rental person? Like if I come to you and I want to buy something in the Jacksonville market, you're not a normal agent. You do so much more. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So when you work with any agent with Savvy, you have a whole team behind you that you're hiring. So it's not just me, but you're getting access to my network, my vendors, my title company, my lender, everybody. And all of these people are very well versed in working in short-term rentals. So they know that time is of the essence. They know that, you know, we got to get this on the market so that you can make your money. And then on the other side, when we close, I help set you up with, you know, my contractors. If you need an electrician, if you need a plumber, if you need that extra garage converted into a theater space, I have people that are able to do that for you. And so you're not alone. It's not like we're just leaving you out there and then see you later. Because my goal is, you know, a lot of the people in the Jacksonville market are first-time short-term rentalers. So, you know, they don't know what they're doing yet. They are very nervous. They don't want to pull the trigger because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. But you have to rest easy because, you know, I got you, essentially.
Yes.
And
yeah, I mean,
the best thing is that because of the appreciation in this area, you know, you might be a first timer. So the entry point is really good for you right now. And then as that growth happens, it's not just about how much money you're making in revenue. Of course, that's great, but it's how much you can cost seg, you can depreciate, you know, how much appreciation you're getting in that first year and then beyond that, because I want to treat you well. So next year when you want to do this, you're going to come back to me and we're going to do it again. And so maybe we get a downtown property to start with because it's a better entry point. There's a lot of appreciation happening. And then next year, let's go to the beaches.
Yeah. And you're doing a property near downtown yourself.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we're under contract on a fourplex right now in Riverside. And it's a total redo. I mean, we got to gut the place, but it's right in the heart of everything. And I'm super excited for the growth and to see everybody. If I believe in it and I'm doing it, then you can too. So I love
and you're getting multi-units. So we talked a lot about like house hacking. You know, there are a lot of multi-unit properties in Jacksonville. There's quite a bit. Like where I'm at, which is more the St. Augustine area, Palm Coast, Daytona, we don't have those. Like we have some duplexes, but we don't have multi-units. And I think the fact that Jacksonville has multi-units and you can like, you know, either live in one and rent out the others or, you know, rent them all, of course, long-term, midterm, short-term, you know, there's a lot of flexibility in that. And there are some cool financing programs to help you buy those types of properties. So, you know, back to what we were saying when you work with Savvy team. So working with Savvy, like we help you, we run pro formas, we help you underwrite, we help you, like if you need management, we get you connected to management. We help you get your listings live, help with all the day-to-day operations. If you're going to need cleaners, handymen, you know, a photographer, you're going to need an entire team, boots on the ground. And we have all of those people here that we've worked with for many, many years. And it's not just here in our market. If you guys are open to other markets in the country, of course, we want you to come in Florida because obviously Florida is amazing. But our Savvy team, we have people all over. So, you know, definitely would love to talk with you guys. If you have questions, we're open books. You can always book a time on our calendar. The links are scrolling right down below. So you should be, things just died. Hold on one second. Can you hear me still, Dashia?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Dashia, you take it away while I fix my sound.
Oh, well, I think some of the other areas that we didn't hit on were Fernandina Beach. I know you said Amelia Island, and then Ponte Vedra as well. So those are all really cool areas. And then Julington Creek, kind of if you go a little bit further south, if you're going to be on the river, there's beautiful homes there as well. And I mean, I lived in California for 8 years in LA and San Diego, and you know, it's shocking to look at these homes and see the price of them after, you know, you can't get that really, especially even in Florida. You're not really going to get better prices in Tampa or Miami than you can get in the Northeast Florida area. So
yeah.
Get for your buck.
Tell them how much you're buying your fourplex for. I think they're going to be shocked.
It was listed for $689 and we're buying it for $600. And we are getting seller credits and we are getting my commission paid for as well.
And concessions. So, you're getting you're getting all your closing costs plus paid, plus seller credits, plus your commissions. Like you got a good steal on that. And that property, so Florida appreciates so quickly. And you talked about this a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of other markets where you have like a lower entry point. Like you can get in for, you know, a $400K purchase price or $500K purchase price. I will say that is harder in our market if you're not turnkey. Like it's going to be a property that you might need to do a little bit of work to, or do some value add or add amenities and designs. Yeah. But the appreciation that we have, it's consistently 3 to 5% yearly every single year. And it's because we're such a high demand state. We have 0 state taxes for income tax. The tourism taxes pay for everything. We're extremely pro tourism. We have tourism tax, and that's why we're able to not have state income tax. and that tourism tax covers, you know, a lot of the state's expenditures. So we have great roads, we have great systems for tourism. You know, the state is like so pro tourism because that's what pays the state's bills. And they're also very pro property owner rights. Our governor DeSantis, like he has been incredible for just the overall economy. Like the Florida economy is insane. So the appreciation here is just, it's only going to continue. Thank goodness we're not like New York or California prices, but I do see like we probably will be that someday. It's not going to take long. Probably within 5 to 10 years, I would say that we're going to be kind of similar prices with them. So that appreciation is going to be very, very strong. So it's not only cash flow, like you said, it's that appreciation. And, you know, it's just a great, great area for that. So
Jacksonville's also kind of really business minded as well. There's a lot of industrial parks. We have the shipping yards here. So there are a lot of businesses that are moving to Jacksonville because it's favorable for them to be here, you know, and they want to. So that brings jobs and that brings, you know, local businesses that need to service the people who are coming here. And we're supposed to grow 9 to 11% in the next year, which is massive. So not only have people been coming here already, but, you know, given what you said in New York happening, plus the influx of people anyways, I think that this is a really great market to be in.
Yeah. The weather is like amazing. We don't have a full 4 seasons. We got like 3.
2.5.
Okay. 2.5. But the weather is just so beautiful. I mean, I think it's like 80 today and sunny. It's so nice. Like you see my son coming through the window, like it is blasting.
Yep, me too. The breeze. Yeah, this is the time of year you want to be in Florida. This in the springtime. This is like prime Florida.
Yes.
Weather.
Yes. You said something, the shipyards. I kind of had forgot. You do have the shipyards there, which bring in, you know, it's a lot of jobs, but B, it's also a huge opportunity because not every city has their own receiving for shipyards. So big, you know, carrier barges, they can bring in stuff straight into the cities. So that's pretty awesome. My dad actually used to work at the shipyard, so I'm surprised I forgot about that. But yeah.
I think they're actually doing a project at the shipyards right now as well. So they're putting in some breweries down there, and they're just, you know, really trying to change everything here. And it's exciting because when I travel nurse, I got to go to all these cities and see it happen there firsthand, you know, the boom of the short-term rental. And, you know, I moved here and we had never been to Jacksonville. I had never stepped foot, and we decided, let's move to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And we love it here. I mean, of all the places I've lived, like growing roots here, finding community here, like people are great. They're very family oriented, like nice.
Everyone waves at you, says hello. Like everybody's super, like that Southern hospitality is real.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yep, definitely.
That's
so it's good vibes here. It's good vibes.
It is. It is. So anything else that you want to share with everyone about your market? And
I mean, I just feel like I'm very passionate about it, and I want people to see the value. And I think that, you know, right now it's hard to do that because they're not here living it. But when I'm talking to my clients, you know, I'm getting them hyped up about this because it's exciting. You know, this is what you want when you're investing in short-term rentals. This is exactly what you're looking for. You know, market is not tapped out. You can go ahead and do your amenities, this, you know, even basic amenities. If you go above that, then you're going to do well no matter what, because, you know, every city I've lived in, I've always, you know, counted how long it takes to get around. I'd say Jacksonville's a 20-minute city. So, you know, in 20 minutes, you can be anywhere. And so that's really wonderful because, you know, if you want to have the place in Southside next to Mayo, you're also right next to the beach. You're also next to downtown. So, you know, it's just a great area. There's so much happening. It's exciting to kind of get in on the ground floor level of it and to see that appreciation that's going to happen. And I'm just really excited to share that with people. And I really want to work with people with 𝗁𝗵𝗄. I love 𝗁𝗵𝗄. It's been absolutely amazing to be a part of this group. And all of the knowledge that you get working with, you know, Tyler and you and everybody who's been in the market for a while, and they know. But I'm excited to spearhead Jacksonville because I just love it here.
Yes. And you are going to help people literally like create abundance, wealth, build their rental portfolios. Like you are going to
call it in.
Yeah, you're going to be the person that literally puts Jacksonville short-term rentals on the map for the entire world. So I'm super excited.
Girl, I'm ready for it.
Yes, I'm super excited for you. Thank you so much for doing the live with together. And I don't see any questions have come in the chat, but you guys, our links are here at the bottom. If you want to book a call with either of us, our links are here. This goes straight to our calendar where you can book time with us. You also have Dashia's email here, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of us. Definitely add us on social media. I know Dashia's going to be sharing some exciting posts about the grand opening of the park today. Yes. So you guys definitely got to go check that out. And yeah, we're here to serve you, ready to help you find your next deal. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks, guys. Call me.